My name is James Sharman, and my team of chefs and I are spending 20 months building 20 restaurants in 20 countries around the world.
Nomadic chef James Sharman and 4 friends are engaging in a mix of culinary anthropology. They've developed a menu and built a restaurant concept like no other.
Hi, Chef. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Pleasure.
So one of the things I read about your current project that stood out to me the most is that one of your first destinations was Mount Everest. So why on the Mount Everest, and what was the most difficult part about it?
I mean, we did it. It started off, the idea was crazy and it was a joke to us, but as we started to go from country to country, we started to change our perception of what was possible, and we wanted to push it further. So Mount Everest seemed as high as we could possibly push pop-up restaurants.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing was, of course, the logistics, getting all of the furniture and everything, because we took everything with us. So we all hiked up there with our 15 guests and hiked up there with furniture, all the ingredients, the food, pots, pans, everything that you look around you when you're in a restaurant here in Hong Kong, we took the equivalent with us to base camp.
Yeah. But before Mount Everest, I know you started in Hong Kong. So why did you choose Hong Kong as the beginning?
Well, it's 2 reasons really. It's home to me, so of course like somewhere quite comfortable, and you feel more confident taking on a project like this. But also because Hong Kong is so international, and I think generally the people that live here have a great knowledge of food around the world, more than most places. So believe it or not, a lot of the restaurants that we open in different countries, we have regular guests that come from Hong Kong to dine with us, and that's kind of been our base. Like, I have a theory that if you know 10 people in Hong Kong, you can go to any country in the world and they will have friends there.
Yep.
So if you have a couple of hundred people in Hong Kong that love coming to your restaurants, you can go to Mumbai or you can go to Vancouver, and the chances are that they'll put in a good word for you, and their friends will come and eat with you wherever you go.
So it's not every day that you find a foreigner cooking Cantonese cuisine.
Yeah.
So why did you choose Cantonese cuisine, and what interests you? Why do you do it?
Well, we approach a lot of cuisines, and when people first find out about it, they are a little bit skeptical. But what we bring to the cuisine is our own kind of techniques, and the important thing is understanding what people love about particular foods. So with this, in this case, it was about designing a wedding menu, and so I was faced with trying to understand what it is like to eat at a Chinese wedding, and the things that people enjoy about it and things people look forward to about it, and what's important culturally. So we took kind of all of those factors and then drive techniques that we've picked up in some of the best restaurants around the world, and definitely things that I've learned through my career, and just kind of combine them together. You've
obviously created many unique dishes and menus throughout your career. So what is one of the most interesting ones that you've created?
Well, we try to relate to what people loved about the menu and about going to a traditional Chinese wedding. And I think the crispy chicken seems to be one that really sort of stood out. Yeah. And the technique of how you do it, you of course add vinegar, salt, maltose, and then you ladle oil over it slowly, and so it cooks. And that's such a unique kind of indigenous technique to Cantonese food. And so what we've done is that entire process, but we've done it with a pumpkin, and we've made this really kind of incredible puree from it that tastes the way that dish should taste, but it's a bit lighter and a bit cleaner.
Chef, I'm really loving what I'm seeing right now, because this is a wedding banquet menu, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking in terms for myself, because I grew up in a Western culture, but for my wedding, I would probably prefer Western food, but I think my family would hate it.
Yeah.
So I think they would prefer something that's a bit more Chinese. So this is the perfect mix of both.
Yeah, well, that's what we've kind of set out to do, and to make it sort of informal and quite colourful and quite fun.
Yeah. And can you tell us about the dishes that we have here?
So this one is, we mentioned earlier, so it's kind of our take on a crispy chicken. So what we've done is that process that everybody knows, where you take the chicken and you hang it up and you ladle hot oil over it. Yeah. We've done the same thing with pumpkins, and made a puree out of it, so it's quite kind of rounded. And then there's a little bit of sesame, ginger, that's kind of cooked in burning butter with a little bit of lemon juice added to it slowly. Yeah, so the idea would be that you would kind of hold this in your hand when you eat it. It's quite it's kind of charming, I think.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And then what about this one?
So this one would be, of course, you have to use suckling pig. So what I've done is try to make it a little bit cleaner and lighter. So I've got Chinese radish that we've pickled in red vinegar for a couple of days, so it goes really, really sharp.
Yeah.
And then on the top is the goji berries or the wolf berries. And we've made a char siu vinegar. So we've taken loads and loads of char siu pork.
Oh, yum.
And just as it starts to char, we add vinegar to it and infuse it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then strain it off. So it means you get the flavour of the char siu without any of the kind of calories, if you like.
Yeah.
So you get and then we infuse the berries in there with it, so it's quite kind of like rich, but also it's quite sweet.
Yeah, sounds really good. And I know that you cooked it in the traditional Chinese way also,
Yes,
the
of course.
pork.
Yeah, I think it would be sacrilege to do anything else.
Yeah. And what's the next place that you're going?
Next place we're heading to is Kenya.
Kenya. And
Yeah, so we're planning to build, we are building a barge, like a big barge that we can take all of our guests on, build our kitchen on, and pull it out into the middle of a lake in Nairobi.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite a beautiful, kind of serene setting, I think.
Do you have any other places planned? Or any places that you would like to go during your project?
We actually have the whole journey planned. So Kenya's number 7, and then we have 20 countries in total.
Yeah.
And we'll finish our journey in Hong Kong. So we started here, and we'll work our way around the world, over 20 countries, and finish back here, back to home.
Sounds great. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.